Fashion Crossroads fans, how is it going tonight? It is our last live video in my series Gift Giving Guides, and we have covered a lot of ground in this month. We started out with sentimental gifts for the tender-hearted, and then we looked at bougie gifts for the diva. Before Thanksgiving we did practical gifts for the pragmatic, and today is easy and safe gifts for the acquaintance. And I saved this one to the end because honestly, buying for an acquaintance is probably the hardest thing to do, right? That is really tricky because there's so many landmines that you can jump in without realizing it when you're buying a gift for someone that you don't know very well. I see you guys hopping on. Hello, how are you? So first and foremost, one of the things that I think is super important to say at the beginning is that I think giving clothing as a gift is an amazing thing to do, because a clothing item, when you take the time to purchase a clothing item, you have to think about the person. And as I kind of go through these 6 tips that I have for giving a good gift to an acquaintance, you'll see what I'm talking about. It takes a lot of thought and effort to give a clothing gift, and that communicates you matter to me. And in the day and age of non-personal gifts, I think personal gifts like clothing are a great thing, and you shouldn't shy away from them. It just takes a little bit of thought and consideration to make sure you have the best chance of the person that you're giving it to loving it. All right, so let's go through my 6 tips for doing a good job with giving a gift to an acquaintance. And some of these, of course, cross over to any gift giving, but I think it's especially important when you're doing this for someone that you don't know very well. First and foremost, you need to make sure you get the right size. Okay, that's key, right? You don't want to give an extra large to someone who's a small. That's insulting. You're probably going to offend them. And likewise, you don't want to give a small to someone who's an extra large. Equally, on both sides of that spectrum, there's a little bit of a landmine there. So how do you know the right size? Well, that's easy, really. You just ask someone who knows the person. So, you know, if it's an office mate or a boss or, you know, maybe the new girlfriend of your son, or you know, something like that, you can ask someone that knows the person to tell you what sizes they usually choose. And that's generally going to be a range, right? It's not going to be, oh, they're a size 6. It's probably going to be, well, they're a small to a medium, they're a medium to a large, they're a large to an extra large. So that is oftentimes what I hear when people come in shopping for their family members for gifts. And I will generally, the first thing I do is try to figure out, okay, so small to medium. So that means if I know the brand runs large, I'm going to go down, I'm going to go to the small. If I know the brand runs small, I'm going to go to the medium, right? So just trying to, you know, figure out where it is that, you know, you're likely going to land in a safe spot. And again, it really helps if you're shopping at a store where the staff knows the products that they're selling and knows how they fit. If you're shopping online, that gets tricky. You need to pay attention to size charts. But oftentimes you don't have specific measurements of a person when you're shopping for someone who's an acquaintance, and size charts are really only valuable if you have the specific measurements of their shoulders, of their bust, of their waist, of their hips. Otherwise, it's really not going to help you. And so unless you know the brand and you know how the brand fits, I would shy away from shopping online for an acquaintance. I think you're way better off to do it in person, actually work with someone who knows the brands that they're selling and can guide you in the this runs big, this runs small category, because what we do know about sizes nowadays is they are not consistent, right? They're not consistent across brands. They're not consistent within brands. There's very few lines that we carry that I feel confident in telling someone, pick it off the rack, pick it off the shelf, it's going to fit the way that you expect it to fit. So picking the right size is really, really important. It just takes a little bit of research. Second is choosing a fan fave. So what I mean by that is picking something that, an item, a category of clothing that is generally beloved by all people. So I thought about that, and I thought, you know, of everything that I sell, what do I see the most people pick up and say, oh, I really like this? And the answer was easy. It's sweater cardigans. And I think the reason for that is because cardigans in and of themselves don't require as much fit. Generally, you know, there's something you just pull on, put over the top. They don't have to button all the time. They can just hang loose, and they're easy to layer. They're super practical, especially in Wyoming where it's a little bit colder out here in the West, because, you know, we can go through a 20-degree temperature change from our house, well, even more than that, from our house to our car to our office, you know, and back again. And so there's this constant needing of taking on and putting off, putting on and taking off that happens when it's cold. And so I think that's another reason why sweater cardigans are such a good choice. So I did pull some because I'm going to be featuring these cardigans in our live sale on Saturday. So I wanted you to see them, but I love the longer cardigans, especially the 3/4 length cardigans, because they work with lots of things. So they're cute with jeans. They're great. You can wear them with slacks. You can wear them with, they're longer. You can wear them with leggings or skinny bottoms. So they don't have any limitations, which I think is really, really nice. And I love, you know, the little details that oftentimes you'll find with sweater cardigans, like the tassel bottoms or the fringe bottoms, just really, really nice. I think they're just a great item, an easy item to buy for someone that you don't know very well. And I think getting the right fit is easier too, because of the fact that you don't have to, you know, pull it tight and button it closed, right? So here's another example. I've literally just popped it with a super easy stretchy tank that's a one size fits all, super, super great. Here's another one that's a little more toned down, maybe for someone who likes, you know, more neutral colors. I like this one for that person. It's a little bit shorter too. So, you know, if you think that maybe the person's a little bit of a shorter person, maybe something like this is going to be too long, but something like this, you still have plenty of length to wear it with leggings, but it isn't quite as long for that shorter person. Hey, Emma, how are you? Hi, Brenda. Say hello when you guys hop on. Okay. So here's one more longer one that's in a great little plaid print. Plaids, I think, are pretty safe. They're really trendy right now. You know, I think especially if you get a smaller plaid like this, as opposed to a great big huge buffalo plaid, I think that most everyone that I run across knows, or most everyone that I see choosing prints likes plaids. So they're pretty safe to buy. We're going to talk prints in just a minute, so I'll save that conversation for that. And then, you know, if you feel like the person isn't a print person, then you always have your solid options. So this is a gorgeous one that has these beautiful kind of merle yarns in it. So it's got this great kind of evergreen background, but then it's got some other colors in there because of the yarn. I think that is beautiful. And again, easy. You're just going to put this on, right? It doesn't have to button, doesn't have to do anything. Great, easy fit. And then, of course, you know, your shorter kind of classic office cardigan is always a good choice as well, especially for someone that you know is not going to likely wear skinny pants or leggings. That's just not them. Then you can go with a little bit shorter cardigan. And again, these are great for the office. And I love cardigans just because of the versatility. I think they're great for that. All right, next is prints are personal. So here is where we get into choosing a print. So again, I think this takes a little bit of research and paying attention. Generally, people are either prints or non-prints. You will rarely see a person who prefers solids in prints. They're just gonna be 90% of the time they're gonna be in solids that have nothing else going on. A print person will be the opposite. They'll be most of the time in prints, and then that other 10 to 20% of time in solids. Now, once you determine are they a print person or are they a non-print person, then you have to figure out what kind of prints do they like, okay? So you have your plaids, which we talked about, right? Your classic plaids, which are great and easy. You have your southwestern prints, which always have like these kinds of designs on them. You know, they look like they belong in Taos, New Mexico, right? Then you've got your geometric prints that are more like diamonds and chevrons and anything that's squares, rectangles, anything that's very geometric. Then you have your florals, which I don't have a sweater cardigan in a floral, but your florals are basically just some version of a floral print. Be it small or large, they can be either or. You have your paisleys, which paisleys are always going to have these little kind of flourishes like that. And then you have your animal prints in various forms. So this is a great little animal print blouse. You've got your, your animal print there. And then in here as well, you have all over animal print. You have toned down animal print. You have bright animal prints, lots of different variations with that. And then another one that I forgot to pull is camouflage. That's another print that's pretty popular right now. So if you can kind of observe this person and notice what kinds of prints are they choosing, one of the things that you're going to want to look for is, do they typically wear small toned down prints like my blazer? You know, it's checked, it's all in neutrals. There, it is printed, but it's pretty neutral, right? Are they doing this, or is this more them, right? That's huge. Determining which of those they are is really important. And then, like, do they tend to gravitate towards southwestern prints or plaids or geometric prints? That's going to help you make a better choice when you're buying something that's printed for a person who loves or wears prints most of the time. All right, next is to choose the right color. Research shows that women choose items of clothing #1 on the color. And then after they see the color, then they look at fit, style, fabric, and price. And those other options are in different places in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but color is almost always first. So getting the color right is really important. Again, some observation. What colors do they wear? What colors do they seem to like? Are they jewel toned? Do they like pastels? Do they like, more like tans and creams and browns? Or are they in black a lot of the time? Or gray? So those would be your browns, your tans, your grays, your navies, your blacks. Those are all considered neutrals, right? So are they in neutrals? Or do they tend to go for blues and greens a lot? Or do they like more warm tones because maybe they're a redhead? Do they wear rusts and oranges? Understanding the colors that they gravitate to is really going to help you be a successful gift buyer, because that is really, really critical. And I just always say you can Facebook stalk them, right? Go on their Facebook page and look and see what pictures do they post, because you know as well as I do, we only post the pictures that we like, right? We're not going to post something of ourselves we think we look awful, right? So whatever they're wearing on their Facebook page or their Instagram page or whatever social media platform they use, that's a great indication that they really like that color, they feel good in it, and that's going to be a great place for you to start in choosing a color. All right, next is choosing versatility. So I think, you know, when you're buying for someone that you don't know very well, I think you're better to go with toned down than with crazy, right? So it's so much easier to wear this than it is this, right? Because this is basic. You've got your grays, taupes, white, black. Gonna go with pretty much everything. Easy to pair up with lots of things. That is going to be a better bet for you than something like this, right? So I think if you don't know someone very well, it's better to go with your toned down, easy to wear things. So I pulled some necklaces and jewelry because I think another great item to buy for people that you don't know very well is jewelry, if you know that they like wearing jewelry. But here's a great example of what I'm talking about. So I loved the mixed metal necklaces, so you can see, hopefully it wants to turn on me. This is a gold and silver combo. I like long necklaces better than short because I think they're easier to wear with more things. And again, we're focusing on versatility here. So what is this person going to be able to wear the most? I love the mixed metal because you don't have to figure out if they prefer gold or silver because they're both included in this necklace, right? So I think that's a great item. And they're also really easy to wear with tons of things. So here's another example. This one is silver and copper. So rose gold, actually. It's silver and rose gold, so you can see the rose gold there. And actually, it's gold, silver, and rose gold. So you've got your gold loop, your silver loop, and your rose gold loop. Great option for someone who you don't know very well because of the versatility of that. And then this one has the faux leather chain, and then it has your copper, your rose, yeah, it's more copper, and then burnished copper, burnished silver, and then this great dark, almost black color. So those are really good examples of what it means to be versatile, to choose versatile things. And then when it comes to earrings, always go hoops. Hoops are your best bet when you're buying an earring for someone you don't know because they go with everything. You can wear them with anything. You can, generally, you know, they'll come in different sizes. So, you know, if the person that you are buying for is a, you know, smaller earring wearer, get a smaller hoop. If they're a bigger earring wearer, get a bigger hoop, but always choose a hoop because they're go-tos. They're easy to pair with lots of different things. They go with lots of different things. So that's a great choice for accessories as well. And then my last tip, my number 6 tip. Hello, Eline. Hi, Pepu. Hi. Oh my gosh, some of these names, you guys. Tariq. Hi, Greta. Hi, Emma. Hi, Mahfuz. Debbie, Muhammad, and Akeem. Hello. How are you guys? Okay, so my last tip with this gift guides for buying safe gifts for the acquaintance is to make sure it's returnable. Okay, so not everything is returnable, and so you want to make sure, especially if you're buying a gift for someone, that you understand what the return policy is, that they're going to allow you to return it after Christmas, that if you send the item home with a person with a gift receipt, they will be able to bring that back and get it at least exchanged. I know for businesses, we are obligated by the credit card companies to return a credit card purchase back on the same credit card that it was charged on. And if we don't do that, the credit card companies can refuse the return. So if you want to be sure that the person can return it and get their money back, it's best to use cash, because then there's no questions asked. Otherwise, just make sure that the store is going to allow that person to do an exchange if they come in with that gift receipt and that item. Because even when you do all of your homework like I've suggested tonight, you may miss it. We all miss it. So, you want to make sure that it is going to be returnable. It's going to be easy. It's not going to be stressful for the person, so that they can return it and get something that they really do like. All right. Do I have any questions before I hop off here? Give you guys a chance to ask. Again, I'm going to be featuring these cardigans that I showed you. All of these cardigans are going to be in the live sale on Saturday. So if you love these, make sure you tune in. I'll be trying them on, they'll be available on our online store as well as in store. So if you're not in Casper, Wyoming, you can purchase them. But I'll be trying them on, and I'll talk fit and let you know, how they fit, if you size up, size down. So that's a great way to really get some great information, especially if you're having to shop from somewhere not in Casper. Thanks, Debbie. Appreciate you. Hi, Eileen. Okay, guys. Have a great rest of your evening.